In this video, we will review percent basics and solve problems involving discounts, tax added, and percent increase or percent decrease. Starting with converting decimals, percents, and fractions. When we convert a percent to a decimal, we divide by 100 or move the decimal 2 places to the left. So in number 1, when I change 35% to a decimal, in 35%, the decimal begins after the 5. I move it 2 places to the left, and we get 0.35. I could write 0.35 or just 0.35, and I remove the percent sign, and now it's in decimal form. For 8%, the decimal is after the 8. I move it once, and then I add a 0 and move it again, and it ends up before the 0. So we get 0.08. And again, I could put a 0 in the front, 0.08. The 0 on the left is optional. And for 150%, the decimal is currently after the 0. I move it twice to the left, 1, 2. It ends up between the 1 and the 5. So we get 1.50. And I don't need to keep the 0 on the end of a decimal, so I could just put 1.5 as my final answer. Now when we convert decimals to percents, we do the reverse. We multiply by 100 or move the decimal 2 places to the right. So in 0.2, I move it once, I add a 0, I move it again, and the decimal ends up there. I get 20%. We have to put a percent symbol on it when it's in percent form. In the next one, 2 places to the right, I get 8.7%. And 2.39, move the decimal 2 places over, and we get 239%. Number 3, we are converting fractions to percents. We're first going to convert them to decimals by simply dividing the numerator by the denominator. That gives us 1 divided by 20 is 0.05 or 0.05. And then we have to change that from a decimal to a percent, just like we did in number 2. So the decimal moves 2 places to the right, and we get 5%. 6 divided by 7 is approximately equal to 0.85714, and that decimal goes on and on. We're going to round to the nearest tenth of a percent. So first we have to change it to a percent by moving the decimal 2 places to the right. It ends up between the 5 and the 7. So the 7 is going to be in the tenths place once our decimal moves to there. So I have to decide if my 7 should stay the same or go up. Since a 1 comes after the 7, that tells me to keep my 7 the same. And we get 85.7% approximately. We could do a squiggly equal sign because it's approximate. We had to round it. And for 12 divided by 11, we get about 1.0909, and that 09 repeats. So we need to change it to a percent. We're going to move the decimal 2 places over, which is between the 9 and the 0. And then we look at the tenths place. It's a 0, and we have to decide if it should stay the same or go up. Since a 9 comes after the 0, we bump the 0 up to a 1. So we get 109.1%. Here's some more percent basics. We're going to be solving one-step percent problems where we're either finding the part, the percent, or the whole. When we find the part, we can take the percent in decimal form, multiply it by the whole, and get the part. So in this problem, the whole is 300. 9% is obviously the percent because it has a percent symbol. So I change the percent to a decimal. I get 0.09. I multiply it by the whole, and that gives me the part. So 9% of 300 is 27. If you prefer the proportion method, part over whole equals percent over 100, you would just put your missing spot or your variable in the part. The whole is 300. The percent always goes over 100, so 9 over 100. And then we would multiply the diagonal numbers and divide by the other one. So 300 times 9 divided by 100 also gives you 27. Finding the percent, we do the part divided by the whole and make a fraction, which we then change to a decimal and change to a percent. So 25 is what percent of 800? 25 is the part, 800 is the whole, so part over whole, 25 over 800, gives me 0.03125. That's a decimal, which I now have to change to a percent. So I move the decimal 2 places over, and we get 3.125%. If you prefer the proportion way, similar setup, except your missing spot is the percent. X goes over 100, and you put your part and your whole just like I did over here, 25 over 800. And then again, cross multiply and divide, and you'll get the same answer. To find the whole, I use the same setup that I used when I find the part, where I do the percent in decimal form times the whole equals the part. I just don't know the whole, so I make it a variable. So if 30% of some number is 12, I change 30% to a decimal, 0.30, or I could just put 0.3. And I multiply that by the whole, which I don't know, so I'm going to call it x. And that will equal the part. So I'm solving the equation 0.3x equals 12. And to solve that, I just divide both sides by 0.3. And we get x equals 40. So 30% of 40 is 12. And again, if you really like the proportion, this time the variable is in the spot for the whole, which goes below the part. The percent, 30, is over 100. Multiply your diagonal numbers, divide by the other number, and you will also get 40. Here are 2 examples dealing with tax added and discounts. Number 4, suppose the local sales tax rate is 7.5% and you purchase a bicycle for $894. How much tax is paid? Well, we need to find 7.5% of $894. So we do that by changing 7.5% to a decimal. So we take the decimal and move it 2 places to the left, and we get 0.075. We multiply that by 894, and that's 6705. So that would be the amount of tax. Now, what is the bicycle's total cost? We're going to add the tax on to the original price. So $894 plus $67.05 gives us $961.05. And that will be the final price of the bicycle with the tax added. Another way to do that problem, if I wanted to get straight to my answer in part B, kind of in one step, is instead of finding 7.5% of the price and then adding it on, I could instead find 107.5% of $894, and that would be the final price. I would multiply, 107.5 changed to a decimal would be 1.075. I multiply that by $894, And that gets me straight to this answer, 961.05. In number 5, a computer with an original price of $1,460 is on sale for 15% off. There should not be a dollar sign there. What is the discount amount? So just like in number 4, we're going to find 15% of 1,460. So we change 15% to a decimal. It's going to be 0.15 times 1,460, which is $219. That's the discount amount, the amount that gets taken off the price. So the sale price is going to be the original price minus the discount amount. And that gives us $1,241. Now, just like in number 4, there was a trick to get to your answer in part B in sort of one step. We can do that in number 5 too, where instead of finding 15% and subtracting it, we could just find 85% of the price. Because if you don't pay 15%, you do pay 85%. So if we find 85% of 1460, that will get us straight to our answer in part B. We would do that by doing 0.85 times 1,460, and that gives us this answer. The last part is finding percent increase or percent decrease. And to do that, you're always going to start by finding the amount of increase or decrease. So you're going to subtract the two values to figure out how much the amount went up or how much it went down. And then you're going to divide that change in amount over the original amount. So in number 6, a sofa sells for $760. The sale price is $630.80. Find the percent decrease in the price. First, we find the amount of decrease by subtracting. 760 minus 630.80 is $129.20. And so that's the amount the price went down. We take that number over the original amount. The original price of this sofa was $760. That's our original amount. So we put 760 in the bottom. And then we just change this fraction to a decimal and then to a percent, just like we did in the beginning of this video. So the part divided by the whole, essentially, we divide those and you get 0.17. But that's a decimal, and we have to change it to a percent, so move the decimal 2 places to the right, and we get 17% decrease. So the sofa decreased in price by 17%. In number 7, the high temperature on Thursday was 15 degrees Fahrenheit, and on Friday the high was 38 degrees Fahrenheit. Find the percent increase in the temperature from one day to the next. So again, I start by subtracting. This time it's a percent increase because the temperature went up, but I find the amount of increase first. So I subtract 38 minus 15, and that's an increase of 23 degrees. Now I'm going to take that amount of increase and put it over the original amount. And this time, since it's a percent increase problem, the original amount is the lower number because it went up. So 15 degrees Fahrenheit was Thursday's temp. That's our original temperature, 15. When I divide this, I get 1.53 repeating. Those threes repeat. Now remember, that's a decimal. We have to change it to a percent, so we move that decimal 2 places over, and we get approximately 153% increase if I round to the nearest percent. So it more than doubled That's why our percent is more than 100%.